Assalamualaikum and a very good evening. Okay, this is our part 3, okay, where I will cover on the working hours. Okay, so I will show you a simple calculation so that you can use it, okay, should you become HR, okay, executive or even for yourself when you are working. Okay, so now, um, before I proceed with the working hours, let me just explain to you that Employment Act 1955 is amended, okay, recently. Okay, it is amended in March. Okay, it was given royal assent in April and it was gazetted in May. So it will come into force on 1st of September 2022. Okay, so the one that I highlighted in my favorite color here, okay, this is the latest, okay, the law as it is being amended, okay. However, okay, we still have to wait until the enforcement of it, okay, because okay, when it comes to the Employment Act, okay, it has to be debated, but if there is any schedule or order that is that is within the purview of the Minister of Human Resource, okay. So now let me just, okay, explain to you that an employee shall not be required under his contract of service, okay, to work more than 5 consecutive hours without a period of leisure of not less than 30 minutes duration. So meaning that for a period of, okay, not more than 5 hours, we must have at least half an hour break. That is why the practice is that you work from, okay, 8 or 9 a.m. until 1 o'clock. Then you have, normally the companies or even in government sector, they give 1 hour break. But some, I've came across, companies that give only half an hour break. Then they are not committing any breaches. So they are not committing any offense because that is the least, that is the minimum provision provided by the Employment Act. Okay, and an employee must not work more than 8 hours in one day. So if you ask your employer to work more than 8 hours, then that amounts to overtime. So you have to pay them extra. Okay, and in excess of a spread of a period of 10 hours in one day. Spread of a period in one day is a concept. Okay, so this is a concept, okay, that is normally applicable, okay, for those, okay, in restaurant, okay, or in hotel. Okay, let me show you an example here. Let's say now we have, okay, let's say we have this guy, let's say by the name of Ali. This is based on what I have encountered in one of the hotel. So Ali here works from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, because, okay, it's a small hotel and it is also a small town. So Ali was the one who served me from at 6 a.m. Okay, so he is actively working until 10 a.m. Okay, this is active working. And then the breakfast at that hotel finishes at 10 a.m. So 10 to 12 a.m., okay, he will have a break. 12 noon. So he will have a break, non-active. Okay. Then, okay, from 12 until 2, okay, that is lunchtime. So this is active working hours. Then he will have a break, okay, 2 to 4, okay, non-active, okay. Then 4 to 6, start serving, okay, tea and so forth, okay, so this is active. So if we were to count his active working hours, okay, this is 4, this is 2, okay, 6, 8. So actually his active working hours, okay, this is, I put that in this color. This is active working hours actually is 8 hours. But the law says that for those who are working in this type of situation, you don't count by the active hours. You count from the day they start working until the day they finish. You count, this is known as spread over period. So now let me use another color. Okay. So here, when you start calculating, okay, from 6 a.m., okay, until, okay, this is 10 hours. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, okay, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Yeah, this is 8 hours. 4 hours. Hang on a second, let me. Okay, so 10 hours will be from 6 a.m. until 4 p.m. Okay, so 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay. Okay, this is what is known as spread over period of 10 hours. Okay, so meaning that every day Ali will have to be paid 2 hours overtime on daily basis. But I doubt whether the small companies, the small restaurant knows about this or not. Okay, why the law is as such? Because as you can see here, okay, the one in black is, the one in red is active hours. Okay, so now let us, okay, do some other coloring so that will not confuse you. Okay, so now the one is in green is non-active. Okay, even though he's not, okay, even though he's not actively working from 10 to 12, okay, and then from 2 to 4, but he cannot go home, or I mean, it depends on whether his home is just nearby. But what I'm trying to say here is that, okay, even though he's not actively working, but he is required to be um, nearby the place and nearby the restaurant, okay, so that he can be called at any time. So that is why the court said that for those who are in this kind of working hours, we have to take into consideration, okay, even they are not working, because they are not free to do and whatever that they want to do, they cannot just simply go shopping and so forth. Okay, so that is why, okay, it is known as spread over a period of 10 hours. More than 10 hours, it is overtime. Okay, then, okay, the latest amendment is that, okay, an employee cannot work more than 45 hours in a 1 week. So more than that, okay, it has to be overtime. So previously it was 48 hours, yeah? Okay, meaning that Monday to Saturday, you work 48 hours. So 8 hours in a day, 8 times 6, 48 hours. But now with the new amendment, okay, so meaning that some companies, they're still working on full day on Saturday. So they cannot, okay, they must stop the practices, or if they insist the employees to work full day on Saturday, then they have to pay overtime. Okay, so basically, okay, they have to make sure that the employees, okay, cannot do not exceed 45 hours in 1 week. Okay, let's say for those who are handling the machine, they cannot simply leave the machine. Therefore, okay, they are allowed to have a break, okay, in the aggregate of not less than 45 minutes, meaning that maybe 10 minutes break and then, okay, working for a few hours and then 10 minutes break and so forth, okay, because they cannot leave the machine for too long. Okay, now next we go to, okay, overtime on ordinary working days. If it is on ordinary working days, so okay, it depends on, okay, the working days of that individual. Some people work from Monday to Friday. Okay, some people work from Monday to Saturday. Okay, some people work from Sunday, okay, Sunday to Thursday. Okay, so It depends, okay? And even the hours of work, some people work from 8 to 5, some people work from 2 to 10 and so forth, okay? So it does not matter, yeah. As long as it is not more than 8 hours in a day, okay? More than that, it is overtime. So if you perform overtime, okay, if your employees perform overtime, therefore they have to be paid 1.5 times his hourly rate of pay. So we have to know what is the hourly rate of pay. Okay, so here is the definition of overtime, means the number of hours of work carried out in excess of the normal hours per day. So if your normal working hours is from, okay, let's say from 2 to 10 p.m. Okay, so therefore after 10 p.m. you were asked to continue working, let's say in a manufacturing. Okay, let's say you are working in manufacturing, then you have your employees, okay, on shift. Okay, so after 10 p.m. you ask them to stay back, okay, then that will be their overtime, okay, in excess of normal hours of work per day. But I came across many people will say that, let's say their working hours is actually Monday to Saturday. Okay, let's say Monday to Saturday, 8 to 5 p.m. But, okay, then their off day is on Sunday. But sometimes the company asks them to work on Sunday, then they will say, I have to work overtime on Sunday. Actually, legally speaking, that is not overtime. That is working on your rest day. The terminology should be working on your rest day. Overtime only refers to, okay, the excess hours, okay, in your normal working days. Okay, that is the terminology. Okay, now this is the formula. It's not, okay. You can find it in section 60I sub B sub 1. Okay, so monthly rate of pay, meaning that, let's say the wages, okay, per month divided by 26. Why 26? Okay, because, okay, when it comes to the calculation of overtime and so forth, okay, it is assumed that there will be 4 Sundays in a month, so that's why that's why it is not upon 30, it is upon 26. Okay, and then if your employee is on weekly rate, which is hardly in Malaysia, therefore the weekly rate of pay divided by 6, because remember, okay, in a week we should not work more than 6 days in a week. Okay, there must be at least one off day. Okay, so now let's do some calculation. Okay. Okay, before we do calculation, I would want you to understand what does it mean by rest days or off day. So employees shall be allowed in each week a rest day of 24 hours. Okay, meaning that, let's say if he's not working from the last day of his work is on, let's say 6 p.m., therefore he can only continue working after 24 hours. Okay, so however, when an employee is allowed more than one rest day in a week, therefore the second of such rest day shall be the rest day. But if the employer is kind, employer allows the employee to treat both rest day as official rest day, then that's fine. Because remember the concept, more favorable terms are allowed. Okay, so now let me just give you an example. Okay, so let's say we have here Ali just now, okay, who works Monday to Friday. So off day is Saturday and Sunday. So based on this act, since Ali has 2 off days, so the second of such rest days shall be the rest day. Okay, so meaning that okay, if you are going to calculate, okay, let's say he's been called to work on Sunday, therefore it is considered as working on rest day. Okay, so that is why in the case of Sundaram and Bhima, okay, the court said that employer is under duty to fix the rest day by preparing the roster before the commencement of the month. So now let's say for the month of August 2022. So there is a schedule of rest day, and the schedule of this rest day, okay, this is applicable for those who work on shift, yeah. So the rest day should be disclosed to the employees before the end of July. Before the end of July, you must disclose, or you must put up the notice, put up notice as to the who's going to have rest day on what day. Okay, so that is known as roster. Okay. Okay, what about if you're being asked, let's say, what about if Ali, remember our hypothetical employee here, let's say if Ali is being asked to work on rest day. So, okay, meaning that he should be paid extra. So how do you go about it? Okay, remember our Ali here, okay, let's say Ali, okay, Ali here, let's say Ali here works on daily rate. He's a daily paid worker. Let's say Ali is being paid RM 70 ringgit per day. So in these circumstances, if he works less than 4 hours, therefore Ali will get 1 day's wages. So he will get RM 70. Let's say if he works for 3 hours, he will also get RM 70 because that does not exceed half of his normal hours. Why? Because our normal hours are 8 hours. Okay? But if he works more than half of his normal working hours, therefore, okay, he will be paid 2 days wages, which is equivalent to RM 140. So if he works 5 hours, then he will be paid 140. If he works 6 hours, he will be paid 140 based on section 60 sub 3 sub A. Now, what about for those who are monthly rate workers? So now, on the assumption that now we have, okay, Raju. Raju is a monthly rate worker, okay, who earns RM 1,600 per month, okay. So in these circumstances, okay, if Raju works less than 4 hours, therefore he should get, okay, half of his ordinary rate of pay. So how do you count ordinary rate of pay? So remember our formula, monthly rate of pay divided by 26. Okay, so when you divide, okay, you will get RM 769. Okay, that is the ordinary rate of pay. Okay. Sorry. Hang on a second. He will get, okay, 61 ringgit. I round it, okay, to 61 ringgit 54 cent per day. Okay, so now, okay, when he works less than 4 hours, so therefore he should get, okay, half of his daily pay. So 61.54 divided by 2, therefore he will get RM 30 ringgit 77 cent. But if he works more than 4 hours, therefore he will get one daily rate of pay. So which is equivalent to 61 ringgit 54 cent. Okay. Now what about if, let's say here, okay, Raju is being asked to work overtime. Okay, so now remember, what is Raju's daily rate of pay? Raju's daily rate of pay is 61 ringgit 54 cent. Okay, Raju's ordinary rate of pay per day is RM 61 ringgit 54 cent. Okay, so in order to calculate the overtime, you have to know hourly rate of pay. Okay, so how do you get the hourly rate of pay? So you have to divide 61 ringgit 0.54 cent upon 8. Why? Because we cannot work more than 8 hours in a day. So you will get, okay, the hourly rate of pay is RM. I round it up to 7 ringgit 69 cent. Okay, so now let's say Raju is being asked to work, okay, on rest day, so he should be paid, okay, at a rate which is not less than 2 times of his hourly rate of pay. So let's say here Raju is being asked to work, let's say Raju is being asked to work for, okay, work on rest day for 4 hours. Okay, let's say, so 4 hours of overtime, okay, hours of overtime times by hourly rate of pay and times rate. So it will be hours of overtime is 4 hours times by RM 79 cent and times by 2. Okay, so so for working 4 hours, so for working overtime 4 hours on his rest day, Raju will get overtime pay of 61 ringgit 52 cent. Okay, let's say if another employee is working on piece rate. Piece rate means how much, okay, he's being paid for a job done. Let's say, okay, let's say she works as a tailor. For every baju kurung that she has completed, she will be paid, let's say, 20 ringgit. So that is, her piece rate is 20 ringgit. So now let's say if she works on rest day, okay, on her rest day, then she should, okay, let's say, so she managed to complete, let's say, 3 baju kurung, okay, during that day. So she will be paid, okay, 20 ringgit times by 2, okay, okay, 20 ringgit per baju kurung, and she managed to complete the baju kurung, okay, 3 pairs of baju kurung. Therefore, she should be paid RM 20 ringgit, okay, times 3, okay, because 3 pairs, remember 3 pairs times 2, okay, so she will get RM 120 for working on the rest day for completing 3 pairs of baju kurung. So this pairs of baju kurung is meaning that her rate is 20 ringgit per pair, 20 ringgit, so that is a piece rate. Okay, I hope you understand. And I came to note that many many employers, especially the small company, they, okay, either they didn't know, or I think it's more due to their ignorance. They did not calculate the rate. They did not incorporate the rate. So you just imagine, if you leave out the rates, how much that person will get, how much Raju will get if you miss the rate. So she will only get, for working 4 hours on this day, so he will only give, let's say, 4 hours times, okay, 769. So he will only get this, okay, 30 ringgit 76 cent. So almost half, yeah. So this is wrong. Okay, so for those who have been working before, can you check whether you are being paid correctly or not? Okay. Hang on here. Okay. Now let's look at, okay. I forgot. Okay, I think I forgot it. Okay, the formula for this is, okay, hours. Okay, Okay, hours of OT times, okay, hours, hourly rate of pay, and times the rate. That is the formula of calculating overtime. Okay, so the rate, if it is ordinary working day, it is 1.5. If it is rest day, is 2. And if it is public holiday, it will be, the rate will be 3. Okay, now let's look at public holiday. Okay, in Malaysia, okay, in Employment Act, okay, and similarly in Sabah Sarawak Labour Ordinance, okay, there must be, okay, every employee is entitled to 11 gazetted public holiday, okay, in one calendar year. Calendar year means from January, 1st January until 31st December. And 5 of which shall be National Day, King's Birthday, the Sultan of the Rule or the ruler of the state, it's for Penang, Labor Day and Malaysia Day. Okay, for Sabah, okay, you have Sabah Labour Ordinance provides for 14 gazetted public holiday. And Sarawak, okay, provides for 16 gazetted public holidays. So, okay, for Employment Act, it's only 11. So when you have 5, this is 5. So another 6 holidays, okay, okay, 6 paid holidays is up to you, up to your company. Okay, so maybe in your company, there is no non-Muslim. So maybe you can provide, maybe if you want to provide a Hari Raya, okay, for Hari Raya Puasa, Hari Raya Haji, and then Nuzul Quran, okay, and then apa tu, let's say Isra Mi'raj, okay, up to you, okay. And then for Maulud Nabi, okay, you can do that, okay. But if that is okay, if your company is multiracial, then you should take that into consideration as well, okay, that you cannot, okay, I mean, you should be fair to others as well, okay. So now, what about working on public holidays? If someone, okay, let's say in our example just now, Raju, who earns 1,000, okay, 600 ringgit. Raju is a monthly paid worker. So whether it's public holiday or whether it's not public, he will get similar amount. But if he works on public holiday, he will get extra. If he's not working, he still get 1,600. Okay, so now let's say, now let us give the assumption that Raju, remember our Raju just now who earns 1,600 ringgit. Okay, so now Raju is being asked to work on public holiday. So here, in the case of employee employed, okay, on monthly or weekly, blah, 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 whatsoever, he shall be paid 2 days' wages. So for someone who works on public holiday, let's say he's working on Labor Day, okay, for Labor Day, you cannot, okay, these days, these 5 days, you cannot swap with other days. You cannot swap National Day with any other days. National Day, whether, okay, you ask, okay, let's say if you ask your employee to work, then they should get, okay, holiday pay, okay. You cannot just, okay, you come to today, but today is not considered as holiday. I will compensate you another 2 days, some other days. You cannot do that. That's wrong, okay. So now, coming back to our example just now, Raju, okay, who earns, okay, so Raju's daily pay is, okay, RM 61 ringgit 54 cent per day. So now Raju is being asked, let's say Labor Day is on the 1st of May. Okay, so Raju is being asked to work only for 2 hours. Okay, remember when working on public holidays, you don't count by the actual hours that they work. As long as they come to work, even though it's 1 minute, they should get double pay as well. So here, okay, so Raju will get, okay, times 2. Okay, you have to times by 2. Okay. So Raju will get an extra of 123 ringgit 8 cent for working on rest day. For working on public holiday. Okay, now what about, okay, here the word is in addition to. What about, let's say now we have here, let's say we have, okay, Ameng. Okay, Ameng here, who's being paid, let's say, okay, RM 70 ringgit per day. Okay, so now, Ameng will only be paid if he comes to work. However, when it is a public holiday, if he's not working, he should be paid. He should get the holiday pay as well, because it is paid public holiday, provided that he comes to work the day before and the day after. Okay, so now let me repeat. Let's say on the assumption that, okay, let's see here, the assumption is Sunday, okay, let's say Monday, and then Tuesday, and then Wednesday. So public holiday is here. Okay, let's say that Ameng works from Monday to Friday. So this is public holiday. So if Ameng is not working, okay, he still get paid. He still be paid 70 ringgit per day for that public holiday pay, as long as he comes to work on the day before and the day after. Okay. So if he was absent on preceding or after, therefore he is not entitled to the public holiday pay. Okay. Now let's say, okay, Ameng is asked to work on public holiday. So now Ameng will be paid 2 days wages. So Ameng, okay, Ameng here will get an extra, okay, 2 days wages. Okay, so it will be one. But here, in addition to the holiday pay. So remember I told you that if he's working the day before or the day after, then he should be get paid. So he should get 2010 ringgit, okay, for that public holiday if she's working. If he's not working, he only gets 70 ringgit, provided that he comes the day before and the day after. And for the piece rate, remember our tailor, that 20 ringgit per piece. So if she works on public holiday, then therefore she should be paid twice the ordinary rate of pay. Now, what about overtime on public holidays? So it's the same. It's the same. The formula is just the same. Okay, hours of overtime times my hourly rate of pay. What is his rate of pay per hour? And times rate. So here, the rate here is now 3. Okay. So, okay, I came across, okay, now let me give you, okay, calculation, okay, let me show you the calculation, okay. Okay, let me give you another, okay, insert slide, okay. Okay, let us do, okay, I want to show you, okay, okay, I want to show you here. We still use the example error, okay, Raju earns 1,600. Okay, daily pay is RM 61.54 per day. Hourly rate of pay is RM 769. Okay, now I'm going to show you what happened if, let's say, let's say for that particular month, Raju was asked to work 20 hours overtime. Okay, so let's do some calculation. Okay, hourly rate of overtime times hourly rate of pay times rate. And Ali and Raju here is asked to work on ordinary working days. Okay, so now 20 hours overtime times by RM769, and ordinary working hours okay, for ordinary working days is 1.5. Okay, so we do some calculation here. Okay, so Raju will be paid 230 ringgit point 70 cent for working, okay, for working 20 hours of overtime, okay, during the normal working days. Okay, now let's look at this situation. This is A, which is according to the law. Okay, according to the law. Now B here, this is what I came across, okay, when I advises small companies. I came to note that what they did, let's say similar, okay, 20 hours of overtime, but normally what they will do is that they just, okay, times 20 hours of overtime times by RM769. They don't calculate by the rate. So now you can see that, okay, Raju in this situation will only get 153 per ringgit 80 cent, compared to, okay, he should get 230 ringgit. So the difference is great. Just imagine if he works for 40 hours and so forth. Okay, and by the way, the maximum overtime per month should not be more than 104 hours. Okay, I hope you do understand that. Okay, now let's proceed. Okay, now we go to the next one. Okay, annual leave. Okay, again, annual leave is based on the length of service. For those who work less than 2 years, sorry, you will be entitled to, okay, okay, can you please amend your slide later? Okay, you are entitled to 8 days. Please amend the slide. I'm so sorry. Okay, 8 days, 8 days annual leave. Okay, not less than 8 days. Okay, so for those who work between 2 to 5 years, then you will get, okay, then 12 days. And for those who work, okay, not 5 years and more, you should get not less than 16 days. Okay, so this is minimum. Okay, this is minimum. Okay, so if you want to give more, let's say if your company is very generous, your company provides for 10 days, then it is welcome. But your companies cannot go lower than what is provided here. Okay, and what about if you do not fully utilize your annual leave? It depends on the company. Some companies, they will allow you to bring forward to the next year, but you must finish, okay, within the first half of the year. Some companies do not allow you to bring it forward to next year. And by the way, okay, you are only entitled to annual leave upon the completion of 12 months with that company. Upon completion of 12 months. So meaning that if you start working in January, legally speaking, you are not entitled for any leave, any annual leave. But once, okay, you have entered the second year of your service in that company, only then you can use, okay, your 8 days annual leave. However, the law allows company to prorate. Okay, prorate, meaning that's, okay, some companies, they don't, some companies, they follow the law strictly that you cannot get annual leave during the first year. Okay, but if you want to go on leave, then you will take unpaid leave. That is allowed. But some companies, okay, who is considerate, okay, they will prorate. So now let's say you are entitled to 8 days annual leave here, and you have been working for, let's say, 4 months. Okay, so in these circumstances, okay, how you prorate? Okay, you prorate by, okay, you've been working for 4 months divided by 12 months and divided by your entitlement. So your entitlement here is 8 days. So here, okay, this is 1/3, okay, 1/3. So how, okay, so how you divide it? Okay, so you prorate it. Okay, so you will get like 2.66. So it will, this equivalent to 3 days. Some company will do this, but it is totally up to your company. Okay, that is prorate. Okay. Now we are going to look at sick leave. Okay, sick leave. Okay, the first one is, okay, when you obtain medical cheat, MC. Okay, so if you work, okay, less than 2 years, your MC, okay, annual leave, meaning the annual leave without hospitalization. Okay, the first one is without hospitalization. So it's, okay, not less than 14 days. Okay, so if you work more than, okay, 2 years, between 2 to 5 years, it should not be should be not less than 18 days. Okay, your MC, and 5 years, so you're entitled to 22 days. But okay, the difference between sick leave without hospitalization and annual leave is that sick leave you cannot bring forward, because now let's say it happens that you have a family member who is a doctor, so you can easily get the medical certificate, the MC. But let's say you have fully utilized, let's say you've been working for 3 years, so you're entitled to 18 days. So you fully utilize your 18 days, okay, without genuine sickness, meaning that you try to fraud your employer. So the next year also you have fully utilized 18 days, and the most likelihood in the third year, your company may call you for medical board, because this it happens, okay, because they could see that you are always sick. So you, maybe the, okay, environment, that workplace is not suitable for you. So that is why they call you for medical board. You will send to their panel, and they will check whether you are capable of working or not. Okay, so so sick leave you only use when you are sick. Okay. However, okay, what about hospitalization? Okay, under the new amendment, okay, if you are being hospitalized, therefore you are entitled to 60 days, okay, hospitalization. Paid, meaning that employer, okay, must pay for you. But actually, okay, so you are entitled to hospitalization for not more than 60 days. Okay, so this is the case of um, MAS versus Nahaza Ahmad. Okay, the claimant, that is Nahaza, was absent from work from 9 to 15 March 1989. Okay, he did not inform his employer that he was sick on 10 and 11. A representative of the company went to the claimant's house on 9 of March, but the claimant was not at home. The employer terminated the services of the claimant, okay, um, under Willful Breach, okay. And remember, when I explained to you about Willful Breach, when you have been absent for more than 2 consecutive days, and okay, there is no attempt from you to inform the employer, so that amounts to a breach on the part of the employee. So when he was terminated, he was not happy with his termination, so he claimed that he should not be terminated. So he claimed that he is wrongfully dismissed. So the case was heard in the industrial court. Okay, the court said that, okay, the court said that if you are trying to if you're trying to say that there was a misconduct on his part, therefore you must conduct due inquiry, DI. Okay, so but DI was not was not convened. So that is why the court said that the termination was wrongful. Okay, and another case, in the case of Ambang, Malaysia Berhad versus Badrul Kamal Baharum, and another, in the case, this is in 2016, this is High Court's decision. Okay, the fact that the respondent, that is Badrul Kamal and another, was terminated on the morning of 29 December. Okay, and deprived him the opportunity to tender his medical certificate for 20 December. Okay, he has a medical certificate, but okay, he for some reason he was not able to tender it to the company. So the next morning when he came to work, he was terminated already. So okay, so here both 15 sub 2, okay, on the willful breach and the medical, okay, that provides that the timelines within which an employer must be informed of the excuse, okay. Under section 15 sub 2 is, okay, an employer must be informed prior to or at the earliest possible, okay, opportunity. Okay, however, in section 60F sub 2B, specify the period of 48 hours from the sick leave commences. Okay, so, and section 13 sub 2 entitles the employer to terminate employee's contract without notice in the event of any willful breach, okay, on the part of the, okay, contract of service. So it was held that, okay, the appellant, okay, went for appeal, and then the appellant, okay, it's the same thing that, okay, the dismissal was wrongful. So Ambang not happy, so Ambang went to the High Court for, okay, to revoke the decision, to quash, okay, okay, the it's supposed to be to quash the decision, meaning that batalkan keputusan mahkamah industri tadi, mahkamah perburuan perusahaan tadi. And but the High Court decided that, okay, the application was dismissed on the ground that Ambang was not entitled to terminate the services of the respondent. Therefore, the dismissal was without just cause or excuse. The act of Ambang to dismiss without notice was overly drastic and excessive. So the court said that, okay, you should have waited at least for 48 hours, okay, but you okay, simply terminate his services, okay, without notice. That is excessive, yeah. Okay, the new amendments to the Companies Act, okay, sorry, Employment Act, which will come into effect from on 1st September. Okay, for maternity leave, okay, a female employee is now entitled, those in private sector in Semenanjung, they are entitled to 98 days, okay, but it will only be of effect after 1st September. If Lily, let's say, give birth in August, therefore, he's still is not entitled to 98 days. It's still 60 days. Okay. Okay, then, okay, the female employee shall not be entitled to any maternity allowance if at the time of her confinement, she has 5 or more surviving children. Look here, the word here is surviving children. So, if let's say that is the 10th, okay, the 10th time that she's becoming pregnant, but all her children, okay, did not survive. So legally speaking, she is still entitled because, okay, the requirement here is 5 or more surviving children. Okay, paternity leave is the new provision introduced, okay, in the amendment. So a married male employee shall be entitled to paid paternity leave for 7 consecutive days in respect of each confinement. And the confinement is irrespective of the number of spouses. Now let's say, okay, Ali here, okay, the first wife Ali has, okay, let's say, first wife, okay, 3 children. Second wife, okay, 2. Third wife, okay, 3. And the fourth wife, let's say, going to be now, he's, okay, even though this already exceed 5 confinement, but okay, Ali is still entitled for paternity leave because the law here says irrespective of the number of the spouses. Okay, when it comes to maternity protection, as it is now, okay, it applies to all female employees, irrespective of their wages. Remember when I told you, okay, when I brief you on the first schedule, okay, uh, who is an employee? Those who earn 2,000 and below, or those irrespective of the wages, as long as they are manual workers and so forth, the five category. So however, as it is, remember, until today, up to today, first schedule is not being amended yet, okay, but on the based on a press conference made by the Minister of Human Resource, they are going to amend first schedule. Okay, only the minister will issue modification to the first schedule. So it is allowed because it is not the major act. It is the schedule which is under the purview of the minister. If there is no amendment made for first schedule, it's going to be quite chaotic because here there is restriction. The wage threshold is 2,000, but for maternity applies to all female employees. Let's say if that female employee earns 20K, okay, she is still entitled to that. Okay, so that's it. Okay, for the third video. Okay, I will continue later. Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, so